First of all, I guess if you could just tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing pretty well. It's been almost a week, so we've had a lot of time to kind of get up to being normal in Paris, I guess. We had a day off of school just to kind of readjust, and the school was open. We got to meet up with other people and just be around people who were experiencing a similar thing as us, and then we kind of got right back into the groove of things. So I'm doing pretty good, all things considered.
Where were you when the explosions and the terrorist attacks hit last week?
I was right here in my apartment in the 13th arrondissement of Paris. It's in the south area of Paris. It's about 3 miles away from Bataclan, and about, I would say, maybe 10 miles away from the stadium.
Did you know anybody that was involved or in that area where the explosions and attacks took place?
The crazy part about it is that one of the residence halls, or not residence halls, but places that NYU has contracted to house students, is about 3 blocks away from the Bataclan.
And did you have any friends in that area?
Yeah, yeah. I have a bunch of friends who live over there, and then I also know one student who was actually walking um, near the area of one of the restaurants that had gotten attacked, and actually heard gunshots and had to hide in a restaurant for a little while.
Are they all okay?
Yeah, everybody that is here at NYU Paris has been accounted for as safe, so that's good.
If you could, I guess, talk about the aspects of what the mood was like before the attacks and what it is like now. What's the difference between the two settings?
Well, it's a little strange because Paris has this glow of just being the city of love. That's just always such a happy and resilient city because it has been through things like this before, but it's always come out on top, and it does have this glow, um, and that was always there before the attack. It always just felt like a place where you could relax and be happy and really not have to worry about many things. And afterward, that glow is kind of dimmed a little bit. I mean, it's starting to come back, but for a little bit, it was kind of just like, okay, we're walking around and there are armed people around, there are soldiers around, there are police with rifles around, and it just kind of took a little bit of that glow away. But there's also been kind of like an effort, I think, on Parisians' part to try to make things as normal as possible for themselves. So that feeling of Paris is getting back. And I mean, I went out and visited the Eiffel Tower last night, and it was lit up with the French colors. So that kind of brought a little bit of it back. And I mean, things are starting to get back to normal too, which is helping them.
Do you find the Parisians, people like yourself that are there, more resilient because of something like this, or are you still on watch for something else to happen?
I mean, people are still a little on edge, I think. I think the day after there were people gathering over at de République, where near where the attacks had happened, and someone was shooting off fireworks or something like that, and then everybody just ran, and everybody was freaking out. And I mean, so that I think that gives, I mean, an idea of how things were kind of immediately after. But since then, I think it feels like people are being pretty resilient through all of this, and I think people are trying to stay as positive as possible. And at least in the few days after, it seemed like there was a conscious effort to try to normalize things here, as far as living goes. But now it seems like people are getting back into their routine.
We see the TV pictures back here of showing of the memorials and the gatherings, the public groups that are there. Is that a sense of what actually happens throughout the entire city of Paris, or are we just seeing a kind of a microcosm of what's happening with people's reactions?
Um, it's hard to say because I haven't really seen very many memorials outside of where the things have happened. I know where I go to school. It's in the Latin Quarter, which is the fifth arrondissement, which is near the city center, and there really hasn't been a lot there. I mean, you see flags at half staff pretty much everywhere throughout the city, um, and based in all the main like things that you think about when it comes to Paris, like the Eiffel Tower and like the Arc de Triomphe and the Louvre and things like that, have all had symbols. You could tell that something has happened based on the way that they're presenting these different monuments. So I mean, outside of that, there hasn't really been a whole lot of indication that something has happened, but you can kind of tell the way people are carrying themselves that something happened and things are a little bit different.
How about yourself? Have you changed any habits or your feelings, or what's changed with you as a result of these incidents?
I don't think I've changed anything really. My own habits. I think most of the things that have been happening to me have been involuntary, such as sleep habits changing. Just because that first night I wasn't able to get a lot of sleep. We stayed up late watching the news and everything like that because of the 6 hour time difference. It happened late here, so we were following the news until like 4 to 6 in the morning, things like that, and then getting back into the groove of things. It was hard to sleep during the week. Um, but outside of that, my normal routine hasn't really changed that much. I still get up at the same time. I still get on the same trains and go to the same places that I would normally go to.
As far as people getting around the city, has that changed at all as far as people going from one part of Paris to the other?
As far as I know, most of the metros have been operating pretty normally. I know that if people are trying to go to the airport this weekend, that's not possible. Um, there's buses that take people to the airport now, but or at least over the weekend there will be. But I know that the main train that goes to the airport won't be running there this weekend. But outside of that, I think that's the only thing that's different. And it's possible that the trains may have been altered when they did the raid yesterday morning in Saint Denis, which is a northern suburb of Paris. But I'm not sure about that.
Has your mood changed or your psyche as far as how you approach things, your studies, your personal experiences?
I think this has made things a little bit more difficult to focus. That's for sure. And our instructors have been real accommodating for that because they know we're all kind of struggling with this because a lot of us have never seen anything like this before. So it's definitely made it a little bit harder to do the things that we have to do. But getting back into it is definitely helping. Like the more we do to normalize it, the more it feels normal. But yeah, definitely some things have changed that way. And just talking about it has helped as well. I mean, it's made me a little bit more, I guess you could say, I'm a little bit more emotional. I was a little more emotional about it before, just thinking about what had happened, and it makes it hard to think sometimes. But outside of that, it's not too different.
And how long have you been in Paris now?
I've been in Paris since September.
And are you in school there?
Yes.
And what is your study?
I'm studying music technology. I'm a master's student at New York University.
Okay. And with Michigan Tech, what's your relationship there? Was that your undergrad?
Yeah, I finished my bachelor's of sound design in the May of 2014.
Okay. Did with music technology, obviously you knew something about the band that was playing there. Does that have kind of an impact on you or others that are into the music scene?
Well, yeah, I know a lot of people that were planning on going to concerts and things like that before the attacks, and now are reconsidering. I personally don't plan on reconsidering that. I still plan on doing pretty much everything that I was going to do before the attacks. Um, but yeah, I do know people who are rethinking their plans.
All right. Is there anything that you'd like to pass along to people back here about how you are and the situation there and what we see?
Um, yeah, I mean, I just want people to know that I'm okay. That just to keep Paris in your thoughts and keep everything that's happening in the world in your thoughts. And just try to be as empathetic as possible as it relates to these types of things.